Let me tell you about a study conducted by an anti-corruption branch of the CBI, and we're looking at cases between 1980 and 1984. Out of 275 people charged, 144 people were actually convicted. That's more than a 50% conviction rate. However, as of 2008, 26 years after the period of study, how many people do you think served actual serious jail time? 8. Now, on an average, a case took 13 months to investigate. Trial time was around 7 years, 4 months. Appeals itself took nearly 12 years. As of 2008, 66 appeals are still pending. Now imagine this, if a person was 35 years old at the time of filing of the case, now he'd be a senior citizen. So what does this mean for you and I? The justice system takes a whole lot of time, which effectively means that potential criminals are not afraid of the law. Now, delays lead to a whole lot of problems. People who can't solve their problems in courts resort to antisocial elements. Businesses waste huge amounts of their resources, whether it's time or money, in trying to solve situations in court. They're better off using those resources in furthering their own businesses and creating more jobs. Now, mind you, when I say businesses, I'm talking about people like you and I who may have smaller disputes, like check bounces, non-payment of dues, property disputes, and so on. There is another dimension to these delays. 2 out of 3 people in Indian jails are under trials, which means that after spending several years in jails, even if they're proved innocent, their lives would have been destroyed. So why does the justice system take so much time? And how can we make it faster? One of the challenges is the frequent use of adjournments. Now, traditionally, judges respond to court processes initiated by lawyers. Now, over time, this has meant that some lawyers have started using this as their main legal tactic. So what can we do? A. It would be great if the judiciary could give a commitment on a specific time frame within which to dispose a case and on a first in, first out basis. B. A predetermined calendar of events which should be automated. C. A limit on the number of adjournments for each party and fines and penalties to be imposed for frivolous delays. Our second challenge. Judges are often involved in routine and mundane tasks. Apart from applying their mind to judicial matters, they are involved in deciding hearing dates, serving of notices, filing affidavits, etc. This is highly inefficient. It's like as if we're asking a top surgeon to not only perform surgery, but to admit the patient, fill up his forms and whatnot, administer anesthesia, and also take care of post and pre-surgical care. We can hand over these routine procedural tasks to specially appointed court managers who should be assisted by technology. Our third challenge. A majority of our cases are those pertaining to just a few laws. These may be laws related to matrimony, dowry, check bouncing, etc. How can we speed up these cases? Encourage specialization of judges and lawyers in these laws. Create a mechanism to identify and make changes in law and processes that will allow these cases to be tackled faster. Challenge 4. A large number of cases are filed by the government and its agencies. If we impose fines and career penalties on officials who initiate frivolous litigation, we could dramatically change this. In spite of so many cases clogging the system, many judge posts still remain vacant. This needs to change. Now let's look at a study of all the cases filed by the Karnataka Lokayukta, and we're looking at cases from 1995 to 2011. Now we see that 2,973 people were charged, but as of 2012, how many people were actually convicted? Just 16. Now here's the thing, these 16 people still have an option of an appeal. So now we've seen how important the judicial system is to both you and I. So when your Lok Sabha candidate comes campaigning for votes, you need to ask him, how is he going to make the government a less prolific litigator? How is he going to ensure that a judge's precious time is better used? How will he ensure that cases pertaining to bottleneck laws are tackled faster? Ask how he can reduce the time it takes to resolve a case. Ask how